Hey guys, I'm Risha.
I'm Abraham. I'm with the Mandinka Family.
And today we are going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of
nepotism.
Stay tuned.
You be my queen, you be my screensaver. I'll be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. You be my queen, you be my screensaver. I'll be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. Sun kiss your body, glitter, glitter.
Alright guys, so as we said, we're going to be talking about the advantages of and disadvantages of nepotism. So, babe, what is nepotism in your own words?
Nepotism in my own word is, like knowing that someone could do something like for example, I'm a plumber and I can do my job, but someone would not give me the chance to do the job, but rather they would give it the job to their family or to their close friends, stuff like that. To me, that's nepotism.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So have you ever experienced nepotism on the favorable or unfavorable side?
Yeah, I would say any gay man that has a profession would definitely tell you I have gone through something like that. Even your friend would, to me, like a friend, I can do the job, but he just went on and gave it to someone who is kind of like a close friend, close to him than I am close to the person. But I can do the job better than the person. But he went and gave the job to that person. Even not only friends or family, but in the government, what I'm saying, they do the same thing. In the NGO sectors, they do the same thing. Nepotism is just everywhere in this world, I would say. Everywhere.
So have you been on the favorable side where a friend owned a business or a family and they said, hey, you come work here because I know you, over someone else who could do the job better?
I would say it has happened to me also. Yeah, because I went to a job. I went for a job somewhere, and then they try to, put me through because to not go under some things that I should go because they know me, something like that, But it's not because I can't do the job, but because I'm there are certain things that I have to go through to be able to have that job. But there has been times when I have been on the favorite side. Yeah.
Okay, where they hired you because they knew you.
Yeah.
Even though someone else could do the job better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, babe. Do you guys experience nepotism in the States?
So in America, we don't necessarily call it nepotism. We call it favoritism.
Okay.
Basically picking your favorites.
Okay.
And so the system is a little bit different where it's crazy because it's kind of protected by laws. But in America, you can still hire a non-relative. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I work at a restaurant and I'm a chef who cooks really good. The restaurant knows that I'm a really good chef. I can cook really good. They put me in the kitchen as the head chef, and my goal is to hopefully be a manager and eventually a partner in the business or something like that. But meanwhile, their intention is to hire the business owner. Business owner's intention is to hire their son or daughter.
Okay.
And then they come to you and be like, hey, you're the awesomest chef ever. So I want you to go ahead and teach my son or my daughter how to chef.
Okay.
And then you're like, okay, cool, sure. You're believing that, okay, if I teach them this, then perhaps I can get some upward mobility. I can get a higher position. But by the time you teach the kids how to do it, the kids of the owner how to do it, then they come in months later and be like, hey, thank you so much for your time.
You're fine.
Get the fuck out of here. Here, I'm giving them your job now. like, thank you for teaching them everything you know. In a sense, that is nepotism. That is nepotism. They just use it a little bit differently.
Let me just put some Jimbo in this conversation. Like that's why sometimes, you know, when someone is your boss, they don't teach you all the secrets. You know what I'm saying? Like, if 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, 2 plus 2 is equals to 4, they're not gonna tell you what 4 plus 4 is. Nope. If you ask them what is 4 plus 4, they will always give you 10. What is 4 plus 4? 10. And you know damn well that it's not 10. So they're not gonna give you the exact routes to get to where you want to get, like at the point or at the time that you want it. So they have to hold on to that till like the time that, you know, they feel like, oh, okay, now we gotta teach him that.
Okay. So and another thing that I do notice, like in America, like I said, there are laws kind of like protecting people who want to practice nepotism in certain instances, but also like in certain jobs nowadays, they will ask you, like on your job application, if you're trying to fill out for a job, it'll ask, are you related or do you know anyone that works here? And like some people lie on the application and say no because they don't
think like it's favoritism.
Yeah. So a lot of people will lie, and some might tell the truth, but even if you do get hired, they'll try to place you in completely separate departments, different positions, so that favoritism or nepotism isn't showed. Because if you put, say, like I'm a manager, then you a new hire, you come on my team, I'm going to make sure you get good metrics over all the other people because I know you're my husband.
Yeah.
So, like, because you're my husband, you have to work in another department. We can't be, that's a conflict of interest for the business that's not owned by us anyway. So yeah, nepotism works a little bit differently. We don't necessarily fill out a job application and they look at us and be like, no, I'm giving it to my sister. No, that's not really common. They're willing to give non-relatives jobs. It's just a matter of how they eventually try to take the job away from you later.
Yeah, well, and here, like that's something that makes like all the graduates like sit in Africa, I would say. Most graduates just shit. Like, you go to school, you have your degree, you know what I'm saying? Like, they make you go to university, study hard, you know what I'm saying? And there are people out here that are really brilliant, you know what I'm saying? And they can do the job
and
very well.
And they're still staring in the face of nepotism.
Yeah, you know.
So how often would you say, on average, if someone's going to look for a job, like say anyone that's employed, they're going to look for a job every day, how often are they staring nepotism in the face?
I would say, like, say for example, okay, you can do a job and then you went with all the certificates that are required, you know what I'm saying, and then someone went. Also, like, it could be like, based on gender, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, she's a woman, you know,
give it to a male first.
No, see you, because you're a woman and then you look all sexy, you know what I'm saying. You went to an office and then I have all the qualifications, and all the criteria needed for that position. They were like, oh, there's some fine milk out there. So they're gonna eventually give her the job rather than giving me the job. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, probably, he would wanna, you know what I'm saying, like take him out or something like that, take her out, something like that, or, get some, under the table shit, I don't know. Like even in the Ports Authority of the Gambia here, they tend to offer, you know what I'm saying, like take people that, all that are nepotism, you know what I'm saying, like even in the government, in the state house of the Gambia, you know what I'm saying, they take people, those, well-educated people are sitting outside here.
So yeah, I'm glad you actually brought that up about the graduates. They spend all those years studying, getting their degrees and certificates, and they still have to face nepotism when they're fully qualified. In the States, it's slightly different. They are staring favoritism in the eye because, like, like there's a whole bunch of other problems on top of it. It's not just about whether someone's related or not, but it could also be about color. If you come in and a white man comes in and you're more qualified, even though you're more qualified, they'll give it to him just because he's white. So it's slightly different in that way. But also, you know, just doing the gender thing. And it depends on what the job is, because sometimes sexism comes into play. Like, I think, this is heavy machinery, so I think the man would be better, so I'm going to choose him. They judge you off that, too. It could be the negative end for the woman as well. And then, you know, graduates, people who graduate from college in the States, they get offered jobs that cost as much as someone who doesn't, or they're getting paid as much as someone who didn't even go to school. So people with degrees get upset because they're like, I did my schooling, I got my degrees and certificates, and you're paying me the same as him, and he only went to high school, you know? So those are issues that they face. But I feel like that is very bad. Like, I didn't realize the impact of graduate students, because do some people like borrow, like, is there anything like student loans, or do they pay all of their money up front?
Student loans, I don't think that's something that we have here. Student loan, no.
Okay, so when people typically graduate, it's because they've already paid for their college in full.
Or like they have government institution or non-government institution that is paying it for them.
Okay, like grants or scholarships or sponsors and stuff. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, that's good. At least they're because we graduate, most of us, with debt, meaning we owe the government money because they pay for our college, but now we have to pay it back. But that's really good. I feel like that's the system that we should adopt, so that we can graduate with no debt. So that's the upside to it. Even though they're staring in the face of nepotism, they don't have money that they have to pay back, because on the other hand, in the States, we have money that we have to pay back, but we're not even getting jobs that are worth us getting paid more. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Hi guys, here are three three benefits of nepotism. Building a family legacy, family unity. Hiring a family member. The family member could say, oh, this is family business. They would definitely work hard for you and try to keep the family business going, because they will know that if you fail, they fail. So they definitely gonna keep it strong for the family. Business to be going hard. Those are some of the importance of it.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you guys a few cons. As far as nepotism goes. So some of the cons are conflict among work and personal relationships. Family members get too comfortable, and sometimes that can hinder the growth of the business. Employees may feel unappreciated and lose motivation to be the good workers that they were before. Organizational incompetency. So the example that I gave earlier, where you're choosing a person without a degree as opposed to someone who's fully qualified. So those are some negatives of nepotism. And as you can see, the negatives actually outweigh the positives. I really did some research and I could not find a lot of positives for the nepotism.
Okay, babe, are there any laws in America that, go against nepotism?
Yes, there are some cities and even some states that protect people against nepotism. Like, for example, nepotism is protected in the public sector of America, which means like hospitals, schooling systems, banking systems. You can't really, especially because we have really big banks, where there's millions of people, you can't just hire your family to, work and manage all that. You have to have a team, and it doesn't matter if they're related or not. It matters if they're qualified. So, and that I appreciate that. But in the hospitals, you have to have different people from different walks of life to be able to work on different people who come from different walks of life, if they need surgery or whatever medical attention they need. And the schooling system, of course, because you're dealing with all different types of kids. Now, if certain public sectors, like the examples that I gave, are found to be practicing nepotism or favoritism and proof can be shown, it's really hard to show proof. It's like you can know that you're being discriminated against, but it's really hard to prove it. Because you can't just come up to the courts and say, hey, he didn't give me the job because I'm not family. Well, how can you prove that? It's really hard to prove. You're going to have some inside and outside work to be able to really prove it. But there has been cases, you know, in the States where it has been proved amongst like class action lawsuits, like people who come as a group and sue the company together, and they've won money. So yeah, nepotism isn't as bad. Discrimination is bad. Like it's more worse because it's worse there because they're straight up like I'm giving the job to the white guy or the white woman first. That's the problems that we deal with. Not so much if you're related or not. Is there anything that you want to say to Gambian business owners out there who are practicing nepotism?
Like that, something that I would say is okay. For one, it has nepotism has advantages and it has disadvantages. You know what I'm saying? Asking someone to work under you that has no experience, but they are a family member. Okay, sometimes the family member can say, oh man, like I have to hold this business like it's mine. I have to work hard, you know, I have to make sure this business is going. But, you know, sometimes you can bring someone in who is a family member. They might be like, oh man, I'm not going to worry that much. You know, he's not going to fire me. He's just going to work like has he want. But if you bring in someone who has the experience and you are paying the person with your money, he's definitely going to work, because if he doesn't work, he's not going to say, oh, I'm his family. You're going to get fired. So there are some, you know.
So what are some things you actually directly want to say to Gambian business owners?
What I would want to directly say to Gambian businesses, let us stop nepotism or favoritism and put those that have the criteria or the qualification to do the job. That way, you know, we would move forward as one nation and gain development as we want. Gambia for all is what we say. Not Gambia for my family, not Gambia for his family. For the Gambia, our homeland, we strive and work and pray. So we deal with that.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys found this information informative and helpful, and perhaps you could do your further research about nepotism, because, you know, I never even really knew much about nepotism until like one of my friends in the States who's an African mentioned it and how it's a problem on the continent, and I was like, oh really? So yeah, it just shows, we just want to show you guys like the different issues that can be faced. Like in some ways they're similar, but in some ways our systems are different, and we can see the impacts on, you know, each end. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. How can they reach us?
The Mandinka Family on Facebook and at the Mandinka Family on IG. You can send us an email to the mandinkafamily@gmail.com.
All right, guys. So don't forget, we'll see you on the next video. And as always, Black love is Black power. See you guys.